Hey guys, welcome to Appalachian's Homestead. Woo! We have to run some errands today. We have some specific places we have to be. So we've started the barn. We're going back out and making sure everything's caught up and everybody's good so we can get ready to rock and roll. I actually curled my hair. That's an amazing moment, isn't it? Here's the thing. So I want to talk to you guys about this important video. This is very, very important. This is one of those times where Granny has, taken the time to sit you down and speak the truth to you. Okay, so if you are a homesteader, if you are a wannabe homesteader, if you are on your way on being a homesteader, if you're already a homesteader, let's talk some truth. We need to set the record straight on some stuff, shall we? Let's do it. Okay, you're moving with me. So I've got to pick up this stuff out here from last night and finish it off. We're expecting a massive amount of rain, and we've got to be on the road in 45 minutes. Okay, so this is the quickest way for me to film the video. This is one of those moments where, I'm telling you, you go, what is she about to say? Oh no. It's that moment where your mom sat you down when you were a teenager, or maybe when you were a young adult, Papa sat you down and just had to share with you the do's and don'ts and the myths and debunk things and just really shed some truth. Because guys, I'll tell you that one of the worst moments is seeing somebody do something that costs them a lot of money, that costs them livestock or chickens, or they get injured. Been there, done that, okay? So I'm trying to, when you come to me and you ask for advice, and I've even seen it on different forums and homesteading groups and different things like that, there are some specific topics that need to be addressed in terms of what is real. Okay, because what's happening is a lot of folks want to enter this lifestyle, be it homesteading, farmsteading, even just with a hobby farm or going off grid. Look who's back there looking. She's so nosy. So let's set the record straight. In fact, I'm probably gonna have to go over here and sit down for a second. Okay, so let me finish my chores for a second and we'll do that. Okay. Okay. So I scrubbed all these last night. They're not perfect, but I want to get them up. I don't like leaving things just kind of sitting around. So they'll have to be sprayed off again later. But see, what happens is the wind up here, we're expecting this massive windstorm, rainstorm, all of these things to come through. And this stuff, I'm not kidding you, gets blown off into the valley. We sprayed this out. So let me finish this and we'll talk. Hey, come on. Oh my word, you did not. Yes, you did. See, I gotta put another center block in. Oh, there's an egg! Did it break? No, did not break. Gotta fix this. Are you ready to go out, big guy? We gotta put some fresh straw in here and get the deep bedding going. All right. We'll do that when we get home. Go, go, go. Woo! Ooh la la. Ooh, monsieur. Take your babies out. Good girls. Woo! Come on. Let's go. Let's go. One by one. Let's go. Woo! Look what's over here. Okay, I'm going to set this one with it. This is that's a chocolate Orpington right there. And these are the buffs. So remember the chocolate's on the bottom. Okay. Come on, babies. I love you. Good morning. Yep, deep bedding tonight. Just a little bit. It's going to be in the 60s. Come on, babies. Let's do the twist. All right, let me get you set up. Looking good, looking fly. Okay, let them out, got them going through some more hay. Kids are getting ready, we're doing good. It is feeling like rain. Okay, let's have some rain. Okay, the point of this video, and I know it's set at a weird angle because I'm using a chicken water that was turned into a planter as my stand. We're so high tech, you know? Gorilla iPods, whatever. We got chicken waters. Okay, so listen. The first thing I'm going to say to you, which honestly, if you were sitting here and we were sipping coffee, the first thing I would say to you is it's ridiculous that I have to say this to you first in order to prepare you for what I'm actually going to end up saying. So there's three things I'm going to say. The first thing I'm going to say is it's ridiculous that I have to say the second thing, which is don't get offended. Okay? Don't get offended. Nobody has time for that anymore, okay? The point of this video is to prompt you to think about these things. And the reason I'm doing that is because if you knew seriously how many inboxes, messages, comments, email, all of the things I get through Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, email with a lot of questions. And I'm gonna be generic with what I say, but it's gonna be wrapped around like a piece of bacon on a fine fillet. The meat is the fillet. I'm just gonna be the bacon. So I'm the surface. I'm gonna help you think and give you some flavor, okay? Folks, there's a lot of things that when you switch over to this lifestyle that is so completely different from everything you've ever known. It takes several years for you to get a gauge on some of these hot topics, okay? And that's not because people are stupid. It's because we're ignorant. Ignorant meaning we haven't had experience with it. We're not educated about it. It doesn't mean you can't learn. It doesn't mean that homesteading won't kick you in the rear and teach you. This is like Miss Homestead lady. I'm gonna tell you right now. You can ask her any day of the week. I tell her now very often because she is straightforward, okay? And a lot of people in this day and age, just by somebody telling them the absolute truth, gets offended by that. You know, I want a dairy cow or I want a dairy goat, but I live on 1/8 of an acre. Well, maybe you should move. I want a bunch of animals and a livestock guardian dog. So I go to the kennel or I go down to the local shelter and I get a lab mix. I want chickens that are going to feed me eggs all year round, and in 3 years are going to put the biggest fryer right there on the table for me. I'm going to get leghorns. There's a lot of information, and guys, I'm guilty of this too. There is so much that I do not know, and I don't make any bones about it. There are skills that I don't know. There are skills that we want to learn. It's a progress of time. A progression of time, progress in time, and I think a lot of times we look at YouTube now, particularly. A lot of us put the books down, I'm telling you right now, that's mistake number one. You need to get some tried and true older homesteading books. Not something that was necessarily written yesterday, okay, or last year. You need to go dig way back. If you know somebody that's got some magazines, such as say Backwoods magazine or whatever, that's 15, 20 years old, you're going to have information in there that's probably more tried and true in a lot of cases than some of the things you might see today. Because this is a phenomenon happening, right? So everybody's a homesteader. So the point that I'm making here, I'm going to hit a couple of topics because these are some of the questions I've gotten just in the past week. Okay, and I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want you to have 14 chickens killed in one day because you bought the wrong dog. I don't want you to have expectations of you, your family, your farm, and some animals. They're animals. That's unrealistic. I don't want you to get in the middle of January because you watched a YouTuber have, a cord of wood and you think that's going to be enough to get you through. You might need 5 cords of wood, okay? I'm just making stuff up because I'm trying to be generic but hit the point. The first things first, you have to do your own homework. If you are getting into something specific, you need to really do a lot of research before you jump. Before we moved here, we were researching property, land, restrictions, what was in different areas for 2 whole years before we moved here. I put probably 50,000 miles on that little old red van over there, just driving around to go see properties all over East Tennessee, okay? Seriously, it wasn't like I found something and just jumped, because when you jump, we want it to happen so quick. We want the farm to happen. We want the homesteading to happen. We want the skills to happen. We want the 2 dairy cows and the 3 beautiful goats and the 6 sheep and the 30 chickens and the Anatolian in the sunlight guarding everything. Folks, that's not realistic, okay? It's dirty, it's messy, it's gory, it's expensive. It will test you and push you beyond anything you've ever done, but it will bless you the most also. But there's a lot of sacrifice and education that has to come along with it. If you're looking for property, take your sweet Dixie time. Unless you are absolutely pressed to get the heck out of where you are, please take your time. Second thing I want to tell you right now, there's a lot of times I don't comment back to people because I'm very leery about, you're gonna offend somebody. I shouldn't care because the truth is the truth. The truth always reveals itself. That's why typically I don't. Okay, the truth always reveals itself. You can watch a person go through go through some mistakes, and you just sit there and you go, "He'll figure it out." He'll figure it out. If you move to a property that has restrictions and you're not supposed to have chickens or a cow, please do not get chickens or a cow. Please do not. That's your fault. If somebody comes in, or if the person down the road turns you in, or if the county shows up and tells you you can't have that, don't turn around and blame the people down the road. Don't blame the county. You did that. That is your responsibility. The saddest part about this is the animals end up getting the biggest, 9 times out of 10, shaft in this whole deal. They get sent to auction, or they prematurely get put on the dinner plate, or who knows what happens. If you think you want to enter this lifestyle, okay, and you think these are things that you want, then you need to make sure the first thing that you do when you go and you look at property is you make sure there's no restrictions on that property. So therefore, if you want a livestock guardian dog that barks all night long, or if you want 50 chickens, or if you want to milk a cow, or all of these above, when the county comes up here and I'm back there in my safe zone and I am target practicing and I talk to the county, they said, "You're set up. This is non-restricted land. Be safe. Here's your area, blah, 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 blah." Okay? I mean, that's just an example. When I go and collect my eggs from my chickens in my barn, I'm on non-restricted land. Okay? When Cochise gets setting into barking, guess what? This is his property on non-restricted land. So understand what you're getting into. If you currently live on restricted land and you want to change lifestyles and get all of these things, you need to move. Yes, you can go and sign petitions, and yes, you can do all of these things, and I'm all for all that stuff, okay? I'm for making change and bringing a homesteading lifestyle in there. But if it's break the law and possibly, put your animals at risk, or move, you need to move. Enough about that. Second thing, wood. Folks, if you're going to be cooking let me tell you right now, cooking for 30 days, and I didn't even cook all my meals, just on a cowboy grill. Okay, I didn't have a wood stove burning 24/7. I did not measure it completely. You would not believe the wood that I went through in August. It really kind of did us a little bit of damage in terms of for winter. We really had to make up for that, right? So, I don't know exactly how much I've gotten back here. It's not enough. Okay? Now, why is this okay technically for me? Because I have backup heat sources. Okay? This morning, it was a little chilly. It wasn't cold enough to necessarily keep the fire from last night going. We might not be home, so I turned the thermostat up a little bit. I like that. It makes me happy. I'm not burning my wood. If I'm relying on this wood pile back here to heat my home, keep my children warm, and to especially cook for them, folks, you have to have, and I'm not going to give you a number because everybody's circumstance is different, but it's we look at I look at pictures and I see, people that have this, that they supposedly are living off of wood 24/7, and I can sit there and go, I would burn through that in about 7 to 10 days. And that's all they've got. Folks, that is not somebody you probably want to look to as an example as what you need to be doing for your homestead. You need to go to somebody, if at all possible, that that is truly a lot of times using a lot of wood heat or is off-grid, and say, I need to have specifics. If they're doing it, if they're using it, then they should be able to tell you. It's that simple, okay? So I don't want you to get into, a 2-week ice storm in the middle of February, and you've got 6 little logs out there, and you think that's going to get you through a crisis. It's not. And I will tell you right now, it will take you one bad winter to totally kick your rear into gear, and you'll sit there and you'll go, everything that I saw, everything that I was told was fake. That's not true. I don't want to be that person to you, so I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have a specific number for you because I don't know what you got in as backup. I don't know where you live. I don't know. You could be living in the tundra for all I know. But I'm telling you, do your homework. Next thing. Going. Next thing, please do not go down to your local shelter and get a Heinz 57 mutt that is the cutest dog you've ever seen in your life and it needs a home, and think that it's going to herd or guard your sheep or your chickens. Let's back that on up. If you are looking for a livestock guardian dog, there is a specific list of breeds that fit that criteria. My black and tan coonhound, who I love more than life itself, who is fierce, who is loyal, and could probably tree a bear up here if she wanted to, okay? She's not a livestock guardian dog. She is not a livestock guardian dog. If I go and get a Pomeranian or, a little Chihuahua, she might be the as all get out. She's not a livestock guardian dog. If I go and get a mutt at the shelter, that doesn't mean it's a herding dog either. There are different, you have family pets, you have human guard dogs, you have livestock guardian dogs, you have herding dogs. There's all these different dogs. They're all wonderful. I love them all. But don't take something and stick it in a situation that it's not naturally meant to be in, and what it's bred for and built for, and expect it to produce. Yeah, I know that there's stories of Aunt Prissy. My Aunt Prissy had a Pomeranian. I'll tell you what makes the best livestock guardian dog is a Pomeranian. Because let me tell you why. We were all sitting at dinner one night, and it got dark real early, and we heard the howls of the coyotes. There had to have been 40 of them out there. And we went outside, and little Foo-Foo ran out in front of Aunt Prissy, and she ran over to that coop. There were all those coyotes. You could see their eyes in the darkness. Not only did little Foo-Foo chase away, there might have been 60 of them. Ran them off into the woods, but she came back with a coyote in her mouth. Now somebody's going to tell you that happened. Okay? And God love Foo-Foo and Aunt Prissy. But folks, don't think that your Pomeranian, your Lab, your Boxer, your Doberman, your German Shepherd is going to be a livestock guardian dog. I don't expect my little mutt in here, God love his heart, Buddy, we don't even know what, he's Beagle, he's a German Shepherd, I saved him he was a stray up here on the mountain just running. I took him in. I don't expect him to guard me against burglars. He'll bark. He'll be a great alarm for me to go get my 380 or my 12 gauge to prep me for what I've got to do. I don't think he's taking anybody down. So don't have unrealistic expectations on these animals. It's not fair. Do your homework. If you think chickens are going to lay eggs for you all year long, every single day, I'm taking your unicorn away. They don't do that, okay? They go through seasons just like everything else, okay? And they slow down as they get older. The next thing I'm going to tell you is that life and death on a homestead is very, very real. It's a very, very serious subject, and I know I'm fired up, so I'm not going to talk too much about it because I don't want to upset somebody. But folks, I'm going to tell you right now, I filmed a video about it just the other day talking about you're going to probably have to put something down. And the next morning, I had a hen that passed away. I was within 10 minutes of culling her myself. And I told my husband, I said, I'm taking her in. I'm going to do what I can with her, see if I can get some type of improvement, because we've had a lot of good time, not good times, but good progress with things like that. And it has worked out in many cases. It didn't work out for her. God took her. It happens. Be prepared for those moments. Life goes on. And I know somebody asked me, they're like, gosh, how can you go on? How can you? Because life and death on a homestead's very real. And it's you just get to a point where you don't expect it to happen every day, but you're not shocked necessarily if something does happen somewhere. Animals get caught in fencing, animals step on each other, animals fight with each other, you have pecking orders, you have a dog that is a Great Pyrenees, that is a livestock guardian dog, that is still in training, chase a chicken and has to be dealt with. They're not meant to guard chickens, they're meant to guard livestock. But you can somewhat acclimate them. By the way, speaking of chickens to a livestock guardian dog, they're like big old squeaky toys. A lot of folks think that they're just getting these animals just to guard their chickens. For you to get that animal acclimated to chickens is unbelievably more difficult, I would argue, than getting it acclimated to my livestock. Size is a factor, what they're bred to do is a factor, training is a factor. Again, constant squeaky toy, okay? What else? What else? I think I covered it. The next thing that I want to say is, folks, if you look at homesteads and you see all continual progress always happening on their homesteads, it's because they're working every single day. You see 4-minute, 7-minute, 10-minute, 20-minute videos, and I'm telling you, you're seeing a snippet, okay? Look at the fruit of their labors. Look at if you have somebody down the road that you know is just killing it, meaning they've got a great farm, they're producing lots of food, all of these things, go and watch what they do. You're going to be shocked at how much they work. You're going to be shocked. Going from an urban farm, hobby farm, to something like this, and I'm small fry. I mean, guys, there's people around here that have been doing this for generations upon generations and have hundreds of acres. And they are absolutely killing it. And they're, you know what I'm saying? Getting up at 6, drinking a cup of coffee, and out with the cows, actually as early as 4:30, and they're working till 10 o'clock at night, every single day, hard labor. It's fact. Now, granted, there are light days and you have things you have to do. So if you know that you're going to be living in an alternative lifestyle, meaning, you know, you have a couple of chickens and, you know, you want a nice garden and, you know, you want a nice fire on Friday nights, okay. But if you're trying to push it to the next level of more self-sufficiency, if you're trying to rely on things that you produce, you're going to have to be home and you're going to have to be working with it every single day. That cow, when she's in milk, twice a day, baby. I don't go anywhere. If I do, it's for just a couple of hours in between, and I've got everything set up for when I get home because I gotta milk again. That's just the way it is. I hope this video helps you out. It's a risky video. You know what? But you know what? Guys, I'll tell you, I take very personal the whole notion that people come to me, even with just what experience I have, and ask questions, and they want to be put on the right road. That is a huge task. I don't know everything, okay? And I point blank tell you, go watch this video or get this book, or if you want to know about this particular subject, go to this group on Facebook or go to this group. I'm going to tell you, because I want to know at night when I put my head down, I told you the truth. This is not a fantasy land. If this is a fantasy land, you know what I'm saying? So take a look at this back here. This is only half of what I have. You see that? That's not going to get me through winter. If I burn this 24/7 between now and probably April, which is typical for most people using their wood stoves, just for heat, I'm not even talking about cooking. No, it takes a lot more than that, okay? All right, I'm gonna break. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. We love you. We just want you to be on the right track. And if we can't put you there, we want you to be able to know that you've got to do your homework and continue to figure things out, because you're going to spend a lot of time, you're going to spend a lot of money, a lot of resources, you could get hurt, and you could get burned out because of false expectations. Don't have them. Y'all take care out there.
Mm-hmm.